What is up, fellas? Good morning. It'll probably be afternoon by the time you see this. Texans versus Titans, America's game of the week. Happens to be at 1 p.m. Eastern time this week. 9-4 Texans team going up against an 8-5-1 Titans team. I believe both teams actually tied each other, which would make perfect sense at this point. But Titans seem to be the better offense on paper. Billy Volek is now gone. Vince Young has now taken the reins of this Titans franchise. Pretty much in real life at this point, he was starting to ball out a little bit. And then shit happens. And then when your mentor, Steve McNair, gets caught with a mistress and he gets killed, shit's going to happen. But speaking of shit happening, huge game right here. Obvious playoff implications. End up winning the toss for here. Going to defer technically until the second half. But going to start this game, this Titans team, it seems like a decent amount of these recorded gameplays of mine with this Texans franchise have been against the Titans. But a lot of competitive games against the Titans. Especially just not only the competitive games, but just seems like a lot of implications and whatnot when it comes to playoffs and winning the division. And a huge interception by Philip Buchanan, only for our Texas A&M just sophomore year. Second year in the NFL, Mr. Walker ends up getting hit with the PI penalty, and it's going to lead to huge yardage down the field. Chris Brown trying to get his way downtown. Nice juke move right there for the first down, 2nd and 9. But Vince Young, this team, decent amount of passing yards, I'd have to say, for what this offense has been kind of, pretty surprising to me if you ask me. But at the same time, Philip Buchanan, it does not matter how fast some of these boys are. This guy's got like 97 speed, 96, 97. That's the first bit of woes right here. This team might have a decent amount of yardage. This Titans offense. However, at the same time, Vince Young, as you can tell by that slim little awareness bar, he's just tossing beautiful dimes to our team. And it doesn't help that the pressure's on with Mario Williams, Anthony Weaver, Mr. Payne, Mr. Smith. This whole defensive line is just beastly, and that doesn't even talk about the young studs at linebacker that we're starting to build up a little bit, because I know the defensive line is going to end up just getting taken away just by old age. But not getting it taken away at all. 15-yard face mask on that one while taking down Mr. Dominic Davis. Going to lead to a first down and more. And then a pass right here to Mr. Roddy White. Should get extra yardage dragging his man. I wonder if it's Cortland Finnegan. Again, Cortland Finnegan got fucked up by Andre Johnson once. Let's make him get fucked up by Roddy White. And speaking of getting fucked up, it is a nice first down run with a couple broken tackles by Dominic Davis. But here we go. David Carr going to try to plummet his way in. Gets recovered though. So at least the points aren't lost. Going to go for it with Mr. Cook and make it now a 13-0 lead. We had the pick six earlier. Now Mr. Cook coming on in to solidify these points. We've seen a lot of times I've tried to use the good running backs on fourth down. Just doesn't seem to be working. But Vince Young going around. Ends up getting a fumble on this play. The pain is brought and the pain is caught. It is a fumble recovery. Now 2nd and 13 for the Texans drive. Going to pass it out to Mr. Andre Johnson. Fellas, it happens that easy. If you're going to be moving well and moving smooth on offense, it's going to make sense that when Vince Young and company ends up having just 2 turnovers to himself, one literally a pick six, these Tennessee fans are pissed. We're coming into their fucking stadium here in Nashville, and we're just no fucks given. Obviously a fuck given because we're absolutely ass smashing this Titans team. Bad pass right here by Vince Young. Got lucky though. David Boston. Maybe if it was Madden NFL 2004, 2005, David Boston would have been off to the races. But it's whatever. Still, no points yet for this Titans team. They are officially in the red zone. 3rd and 7 later on the drive. Just Mario Williams, Pro Bowler, probably the best D-end at this point now, the way he's played for this franchise, the way he's improved himself. The dude's just a beast. Another Pro Bowl selection for him as this defense continues to build upon its young age But also, too, I mean, these dudes are very, very talented. The awareness is just only going to grow as his drive continues to grow. Nice little run right there by Mr. Cook. Play action on this one. Andre Johnson wide open, and it's unfortunately going to be out of bounds. I should have thrown a bullet to him, but it is what it is. Going to throw a pass out to Mr. Putzer, the guy who's been usually when you see the likes of Roddy White and Jesus Christ, David Carr just takes a licking on that hit. Big hit. But Mr. Crawford, this guy's one of those, like, I feel like you can find cornerbacks and wide receivers in these Madden games that are, like, absolute steals in a draft. To where Crawford's a third-round pick. The dude's 93 speed. I think his jumping was already, like, 98 or something. It was insane. His vertical was, like, 42 inches at that point. My eyes bulged. So did my penis. And then we drafted the man, and now we're already improving him. Just in case we can't afford Roddy White and Andre Johnson, we have a young version of both of them who may be more athletic than at least one of them. I'm not going to say more athletic than Andre Johnson. But 24-3, first down. After that decent pass by Vince Young, not the best. That, I don't know if that was a drop. Could have been a dropped interception. Could have been dropped by David Boston. Could have just been batted down. Didn't look like it was batted down. But here we go. Mr. Russell, one of the young studs at linebacker for this team. D'Amico Ryans just isn't panning out all too well. He hasn't gotten to that like Madden 08 rating to where he's like 88, 89. But again, sacks continue against this David Carr. So offensive line. It's just a young offensive line. Just the one issue we're having to face. Young offensive line. Just not much awareness to deal with the talent as well. But here we go. Phillip Buchanan just pussyfooting it. And Robbie or Rabu, whatever it was, gets a big play on that one. It's going to be a first down. And then Chris Brown, after the first down, is going to take it down to the 26-yard line. David Givens with the catch. Going to be another first down. Make it a no huddle. 4 plays, 59 yards. Not even a half a minute quite yet of this drive. And Vince Young is actually starting to look decently good. But here we go. Nice little pass into Mr. Boston. Maybe it was a drag, but it looked more like just a 5-yard dig. 2nd and 4 down, 24 seconds. Clock still ticking as they're trying to get as many points as possible before the end of the half, considering they're down by 3 touchdowns exactly in extra points. And it's pretty much a must-win game. Don't see how a 9-6 team could make it to the playoffs. Definitely better than a 9-7, obviously. But still, I think Rob Baronis now sets it up. They end up getting 3 more points ticked on, but still. It's just only 113 total yards by our offense. There's a holding penalty by Barron. Now I wish I didn't trade for him. He's not panning out at left tackle. As you can tell, a lot of sacks are happening at this point. And it just kind of pisses me off. I mean, win the Super Bowl last time. This defense is obviously fucking just stingy as shit. And just like every opportunity they just create turnovers. They obviously get sacks with the likes of Weaver, Williams, and sometimes Smith and Payne. But for the most part, teams getting things done. It's just shit like this. The offensive line needs to be improved vastly. It's going to be interesting what to do with the offensive line. Because the way this offensive line is playing, it's kind of reminding me because young quarterback and David Carr. We're going to have a huge play right here to Andre Johnson, though. And don't get me wrong. I mean, Andre Johnson's Andre Johnson. David Carr has actually got a hell of an arm on him. This Texans team's quite young, even on the offensive end, too. Kind of reminds me of, situation we had previously, just now in the Super Bowl. What's going to happen with this offensive line when we face a team in the Super Bowl? If we make it to the Super Bowl, is it going to be like the Chiefs to where they're going to have to revamp this offensive line? Because just look at that. That ain't fair, man. He's only got 67 speed. It's not like this. Not like David Carr's like Jake Plum or anything. It's just, there's no way he can snake his way out of that. But, hey, 3 points is still 3 points, up by 3 touchdowns now. Mario Williams ends up getting himself a beautiful pick 6. He has a sick-ass celebration as well, 34-6 now. Brown, they're just running the ball because let's be honest, the way this team's built with Vince Young, playing from behind is just not something you're going to be comfortable with. No one should be in a big game. Shouldn't be comfortable down by 28 points, but you should sure as shit not be comfortable being down by 4 touchdowns or being down even by 1 or 2 and having to have Vince Young toss the football and then Greenwood gets it. I thought that this was a pick six. It was not, but I'll still take it, obviously. Throwing it off to Crawford and make that now a touchdown. This man, he's a pain. He's 6'3", has 93 speed, 8, like I was saying, 97, 98, 99. Either one of those three for leaping ability, and his catching has been improved on. This is going to be a guy to build up for sure. Use him quite a bit as we just, try to get that awareness up so his overall rating can go up as well. Plus, also, too, people like to do, better tackling and stuff like that. Man, if your players have, 40 awareness, they're going to get fucking owned by guys that, have 75% of the talent as them. That's just how these video games work. But here we go. We get a first-round bye. Second team in the AFC. Obviously, that Bengals team with by far the best offense, only behind the Falcons. Seahawks are up there as well. So it's kind of looking like right now that you're going to have the Falcons and Seahawks facing each other in the NFC Championship. Rams might be a team to look for as well. But you got the Bengals. That offense is it's sick. That offense is sick. But we're going to go simulate for the wild card round. Steelers at Broncos. No Tim Tebow involved in this one. No Demaryius Thomas. Overtime. Touchdown catch. But 10-13. Pittsburgh, a team that was division winning last season. Gets in through the wild card. Gets a loss here, though, against this Denver team with actually Billy Volek in it. Jake Plummer was injured, so Jay Cutler's still sitting there, but 22 attempts, 9 yards. He did get... No, I don't think he got a touchdown. Maybe he did. But the way the Steelers are ran, I can get it done. Not going to get it done. 22 attempts. Not, as you can tell, they were trying to use him. But Javon Walker, solid game as well. But Eagles against the Bears again. Just interesting. Just seeing Cody Parkey and shit missing field goals against the Eagles team on their way to a Super Bowl. However, though, no worries. No need for field goals. Except, try to tell that to Philadelphia. That's all they got in this game. 9 points off of David Akers. But Cedric Benson gets involved. Mr. Roy Young, I think that's his name. But just, again, 200 yards of total offense. I don't think Chicago is going to be worth anything at all in these playoffs. We played them earlier this season, just right there. That's your quarterback, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Congrats, Chicago. You have a sick-ass defense. You held the Philadelphia offense with even an old Amani Toomer. You got, L.J. Smith and company as well. Just, congrats, Chicago. You have a great defense, and you drafted another shit quarterback. But we'll have to say, he's young. He was drafted, 1 or 2 seasons ago. Chargers visiting the Jets. Aaron Brooks now the quarterback for the Jets. And actually San Diego, a team that was just removed from having the first round bye. And a team that looked really fucking good last season. 13-3, ended up losing to our Texans team, but there you go. Jets right here. More so 20-6. It was for some fucking reason, interception return on the last play of scrimmage, in which that means Brooks had to throw an interception. So please explain that to me. Doesn't make a lick of sense, but not even 100 passing yards by either of these players. Phillip Rivers, 6 for 10. Other quarterback, 3 for 20. Was that correct? But LT, 159 yards on the ground. Ends up getting 201 total yards with 42 receiving. But Lavernius Coles getting things done for this Jets team. So far, Broncos, Bears, Jets, and then we're going to look back here at the wild card. Rams just absolutely shit on the Cowboys. This Rams team with Mark Bulger and Torrey Holton, I think, and definitely old Isaac Bruce. You got Steven Jackson at this point for this team. But again, just a lot of things happening for this Rams team. Could be interesting of whoever they land on, whoever they face. I think they're most likely going to face, the Rams are going to face the Seattle Seahawks in the next round. Mark Bolger, 3 touchdown passes, 286 yards. Dude was just looking like a stud. Steven Jackson didn't even have all too great of a game. And this, at least better than the shit show that was the Cowboys. Torrey Holt, 2 touchdown catches, 8 overall catches, 73 yards. Kevin Curtis, 90 yards. Drew Bennett, Northcutt, each with at least 70 yards themselves. But here we go. Looking at the division round, we are the 3rd team on schedule. And bam, Aaron Brooke and the Jets going to Cincinnati. Almost an overtime win. And not only that, well, now we found out why. Mr. Sean King, the backup, filling in for, I guess, an injured Carson Palmer. And, folks, a 99 overall Carson Palmer in his absence. They still put up 464 yards of total offense and still pass for 360 yards. So take that with what you will. 4 interceptions, though, so that'll definitely help the Jets' case. But Rudy Johnson, Chad Johnson, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Carson Palmer. There you go. Tony Gonzalez. So TJ Houshmandzadeh. That's 153 yards, but here we go. Rams at Falcons. What was the results of this game? 14-2 Falcons team. 37-27 is the Atlanta Falcons here at home against the St. Louis Rams. No more do we have Warwick Dunn with Michael Vick. We do have Cadillac Williams, though. Cardinal, I think. Williams. But just not able to keep up. St. Louis had a nice little jump at the beginning, but not enough to keep up with this Mike Vick team. I mean, 583 yards. They don't even have that Tubbs guy anymore. Tubbs. The guy that was 6'7", 90 speed, 99 jumping. His catching was 80. How do you get rid of a dude like that? Doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, this team's 15-2. So what the fuck do I know? This offensive line of theirs is amazing. Michael Vick might be the best video game character I've ever seen at this point, the way he's rated. There's 95 and above on his speed and all of his passing and his awareness. But here we go. Denver with Champ Bailey, Al Wilson, and Ian Gold, DJ Williams. Going to be interesting, fellas. Going to be interesting. As always, fellas, take it easy and see you next time.